the Explorer window to navigate to a video file that you think you want to add to your project. Once you find it in the Explorer window, click it just once to select it. Click the Start Preview button. The file begins to play and you can watch it in the video preview window. This way you can preview the file to make sure it's the one you want. Summary information for the file appears beneath the list view. Click the Auto Preview button. With this button active, files will preview as soon as you select them in the Explorer window. For instance, click another video file, and it too begins to preview. Drag the file into the timeline, but don't release the mouse button just yet. You see two rectangles appear in the timeline. These indicate the location at which you will drop the media file. Position the boxes toward the middle of the visible portion of the timeline and release the mouse button. The rectangles become filled with information. One of them includes thumbnails of the video portion of the file and the other an audio waveform representing the audio portion of the file. We call these boxes events, and you can think of them basically as containers that hold the media you've added to the timeline. You can also see that 2 tracks have been added to your project to hold these events. The track list now contains various controls for each track. Note the difference between the controls for a video track and those for an audio track. As you add more and more tracks to your projects, and with Vegas you have no limit to the number of video or audio tracks, you'll quickly learn to look at these controls to identify the track type. Click the video event. As you saw earlier, the cursor jumps to the click location, and since now the cursor sits within the video event, the video preview window shows you that frame of video. You might also have noticed that the video event changed colors. This color change indicates that you have selected that event, which is the first step in editing it. Click the audio event and notice that this selects that event while it deselects the video event. Though you've deselected the video event, you'll notice that it has a dark outline around it. This outline indicates that this event is grouped to the selected event. Vegas Pro has grouped these so that you can't move one without moving the other. This helps protect you from inadvertently moving the events apart, which would ruin synchronization between the audio and the video. Drag either of the events to the right and the other comes along with it. Drag it back to the left, all the way to the beginning of the timeline, and release the mouse button. Now that you've made your first edit, let's view what you have so far. The transport buttons give you the tools you need for playing your project. Click about 1/4 of the way into the video event to place your cursor there. Now click the play button. The project begins to play from the cursor location, and you can watch it in the video preview window. As it plays, notice that there are really 2 cursors. The play cursor moves through your project, while the edit cursor remains where it was when you started playback. Click the stop button. Naturally, playback stops, but notice another important point. When you click the stop button, the cursor returns to the point at which it was when you started the playback. In other words, the play cursor returns to the location of the edit cursor. Click the play button again. This time, after a few seconds, click the pause button. Now, the play cursor stops right where it was when you paused, and the location of the edit cursor changes to match the location of the play cursor. The distinction between the behavior of the stop and pause buttons is an important one, and you'll quickly learn when it's appropriate to use one over the other.